You're looking at a man who has everything. A perfect 850 credit score, a penthouse in Manhattan, and a fleet of luxury cars that would make a billionaire blush. The only problem is that this man does not exist. He has no mother, no father, and no physical footprint on this earth. He is a digital ghost, a Frankenstein identity stitched together by high-level artificial intelligence to commit the perfect crime. This isn't just a simple case of identity theft. It's the birth of a new species of fraud that is currently bankrupting the world's most powerful financial institutions from the inside out. How do you arrest someone who was never born? How do you serve a subpoena to a person made of pixels and stolen data points? We are entering the era of synthetic identity fraud, where AI models are used to harvest the social security numbers of the deceased and the birth records of infants to create a hybrid person. These entities are nurtured like digital children. They open small credit lines, pay them off religiously, and build a synthetic history that looks more reliable than yours or mine. They are the perfect borrowers because they are programmed to be perfect. But there is a tipping point, the bust out. Once these digital ghosts achieve a high enough credit limit, the AI triggers a massive, simultaneous spending spree across hundreds of accounts. In a single weekend, a ghost can borrow $5 million and then simply vanish back into the code. The banks are left chasing a shadow, a name that belongs to no one, and a face that was hallucinated by a GAN network. This is the silent heist of the 21st century. The scale of this is staggering, and the legal system is completely paralyzed. Our laws are built on the assumption that a name corresponds to a biological entity. When that entity is a synthetic construct, the entire framework of debt and accountability collapses. Today, we go deep into the data centers and the dark web forums where these Frankenstein identities are sold like commodities. We are tracking the invisible footprints of the people who don't exist before they erase yours too. You are entering a nursery, but there are no cribs or lullabies here. Instead, there are racks of humming servers and cooled silicon, birthing thousands of people every hour. This is where the Frankenstein identity begins its life cycle. It starts with a seed, a real, stolen social security number belonging to a child who hasn't yet used it, or a person who has long since passed away. The AI doesn't just steal a name. It harvests the blank slate of a social security record to build a foundation that is mathematically perfect. Once the seed is planted, the AI begins the process of seasoning. Just like a real person, these digital ghosts need a history. They start small. The algorithm uses automated bots to apply for low-limit store cards or basic utility accounts under the synthetic name. Every payment is made precisely on time, automated by a script that never sleeps and never forgets. In the eyes of a credit bureau's algorithm, this digital construct looks like the most responsible citizen on the planet. It's a ghost with a cleaner record than you. But how do they get those high-limit cards so quickly? The answer is piggybacking. In the hidden corners of the dark web, criminals sell authorized user spots on real, high-limit accounts. The AI injects the digital ghost into these established accounts for a few months, absorbing the credit age and trust of a real human being. It's a parasitic relationship, where the ghost drains the credibility of the living to inflate its own worth. Within 6 months, a non-existent person can have a $50,000 credit limit without ever having held a physical job. These identities are now mature and ready for market. On platforms like Genesis or Russian Market, these digital ghosts are sold in bulk. A A ready-to-bust identity with a 750 score might go for $5,000, a small price for a thief planning to extract 100 times that amount. The buyers don't even have to be human. Other AI systems are now purchasing these identities to automate large-scale money laundering. We've reached a point where machines are creating people to sell to other machines, to rob banks run by algorithms. The data centers where this happens are often located in jurisdictions where the law is a suggestion and the electricity is cheap. They are the ghost factories of the modern age. Every time you see a soft pull on your credit report that you don't recognize, it might be a ghost testing the waters. We are looking at a total decoupling of identity from biology. The infrastructure of lies is now so sophisticated that the truth is becoming an obsolete currency. You are witnessing the final phase of the perfect crime, the bust-out. After months or even years of careful seasoning, the Frankenstein identity has reached its peak maturity. It has a high-limit credit card from every major lender, a pristine reputation, and a digital footprint that looks more human than yours. But then, the switch is flipped. In a coordinated strike that lasts less than 48 hours, the AI triggers a simultaneous spending spree across the globe. Thousands of digital ghosts suddenly max out their limits, buying gold bullion, luxury electronics, and transferring millions into untraceable offshore accounts. By the time the bank's fraud detection algorithms realize what's happening, the ghosts are already gone. There is no one to arrest. There are no houses to seize. When the collections agents call, they are met with disconnected lines and addresses that lead to empty parking lots or abandoned warehouses. This is why the Federal Reserve has called synthetic identity fraud the fastest-growing financial crime in the United States, with estimated losses exceeding $20 billion annually. But the real horror isn't just the money. It's the systemic collapse of trust. Did you know that in 2011, the Social Security Administration began randomizing new numbers? This policy, intended to protect privacy, inadvertently handed a master key to the fraudsters. It made it impossible for banks to verify a person's age or place of birth based on their SSN alone. The AI exploited this gap, hiding its digital children among the millions of legitimate new numbers issued every year. And because these ghosts pay their bills perfectly until the very end, banks often misclassify these losses as bad debt rather than fraud. They think they just lent money to a person who hit a rough patch, never realizing that the person never existed in the first place. We are now seeing the emergence of fully automated fraud. AI models are now capable of managing the entire life cycle of a ghost, from the theft of a child's SSN to the final money laundering, without any human intervention. This is a shadow economy run by code for the benefit of shadows. It is a silent heist that is draining the liquidity of our global financial system, and the law is still trying to figure out how to put a pixel in handcuffs. The truth is, your own data is likely already a part of a Frankenstein identity. Your middle name, a fragment of your address, your birth year, all harvested and stitched into a digital ghost that is currently building a credit score in your shadow. As we move toward a world of central bank digital currencies and universal digital IDs, the war between the living and the ghosts will only intensify. The question isn't whether you can be replaced, it's whether you already have been. Subscribe to Leviathan Files. Stay curious, and remember, the truth remains as invisible as the ghosts spending your future.